Morning, students. This class, I'm going to discuss the I/O devices. The input and output devices means through which the microprocessor unit communicate with the outside world. That is, the MPU accept binary data as a input from device such as keyboard as a input device and send the data to output device such as LED or printer. So there are two different methods by which the I/O devices can be identified. So one uses a 8-bit address and other uses the 16-bit address. Okay. The first one is a I/O with the 8-bit address. This is called peripheral mapped I/O or I/O mapped I/O. So in peripheral mapped I/O, the MPU uses 8 address lines to identify an input or output device. The 8 address line can have 2 power 8, that is 256 addresses, and hence the MPU can identify 256 input devices and 256 output devices with the address ranging from 00 to FF in hexadecimal. So FF is a 256. The input and output devices are differentiated by the control signal. The input and output devices are differentiated by the control signal. The MPU uses I/O read control signal for input devices and I/O write control signals for output devices. The entire range of I/O addresses from 00 to FF is known as an I/O map, and the individual address are referred to as I/O device address or port number, that is the I/O port number. Suppose 245, it is an number, I/O port number. So like that the MPU determines. So these are the two signals used by the MPU for peripheral I/O, that is I/O read. This signal, when the signal is low, then it is used to read from the I/O device. Like that, when this signal is low, it is used to write the output device. So now, what are the various steps for reading and writing? Now, first step is the MPU places an 8-bit address on the address bus, which is decoded by the external logic. So it put a 8-bit address on the address bus. Address bus is a 16-bit. Then it places the 8-bit address. Okay, that is low order address bus, A0 to A7. Okay. Then A8 to A15s are high order address bus. Then second step is the MPU send control signals. There is IO read, IO write, and enable the IO devices. When the signals are low, then it enables the IO devices. Then third step is the data are transferred using the data bus. Okay. So the data bus is a bidirectional, therefore it reads or it writes using this data bus. So these are the three steps. And then another one is a memory mapped IO. Okay, this is the IO mapped IO, then memory mapped IO. In memory mapped IO, the MPU uses 16 address lines to identify an IO device. An IO is connected as if it is a memory register. Okay. So this is known as memory mapped IO. Okay. So what is memory mapped IO means? The MPU uses 16 address line to identify an IO device, and IO is connected if it is a memory register. So what is called a memory mapped IO? The MPU uses the same control signals as like here IO read, IO write, whereas here memory read and memory write. When these signals are low, so memory read and memory write, and the instruction or read or write into memory. So the IO and memory share the same memory, that is the 64K. So this is the difference between the IO mapped IO and memory mapped IO. Okay. Here, under memory mapped IO, the IO is treated as memory. Here, IO is treated as IO. Okay. So input output is treated as a memory in memory mapped IO, whereas the input output is treated as input output. So the memory mapped IO uses 16-bit addressing. The IO mapped IO uses 8-bit addressing. So the memory mapped IO uses more decoder hardware, whereas the IO mapped IO uses less decoder hardware. So it can, in memory mapped IO, it can address 2 power 16 equal to 64K locations. Here 2 power 8 equal to 256 locations, that is the 256 devices. Okay. Here memory mapped IO, less memory is available, whereas the IO mapped IO, whole memory address space is available. So these are the difference between the memory mapped IO and IO mapped IO. Yeah. So memory and IO, it uses the read and write signal. So if it is a IO, read means it reads and reads from the IO devices. Then IO write means it reads from the write from the write to the IO device. Okay. Similarly, If it is a memory means it read from memory and write to memory. Okay, so it uses the data bus 8-bit and then address bit 16 bits, that is A0 to A15. Here how a data or instruction can be read from the memory by using the memory read signal. Okay, the first, the MPU places 16-bit memory address in the address bus. Okay, therefore it is decoded by the memory decoder, and then the particular address is located. Okay, after that the control unit uses the control signal. So memory read, this is the control signal. When this signal is low, it fetches the required data from that address and put on the data bus. Okay. Then the data is transmitted through the data bus into the MPU unit. So this is the memory read operation. Now let us see one example of microcomputer systems. Okay. So 8085 MPU, then various memories, that is the EEPROM, read write memory, and then various output devices. So these are connected by the buses, address bus and the data buses, and then various control signals are used. Okay. So the MPU in this example, the MPU uses two types of memory. One is a EEPROM, erasable program read only memory, and another one is a read write memory, that is random access memory or RAM. And the input and output devices, and using the buses, that is the address and the data buses, linking all peripherals to the MPU. The address lines A0, A15 are used to address memory, and the low order address bus A0, A7 is used to identify the input and output. Okay, this low order bus is used to identify the input and output, and the data bus D0 to D7 is a bidirectional. So it is a bidirectional and common to all the devices, and the four control signals generated by MPU are connected to different peripheral devices. So memory read is a one control signal, then memory write is a another control signal, then IO read is a control signal, and IO write is a control signal. These are the four control signals used by the control unit of the MPU. So the MPU communicate with only peripheral at a time by enabling the peripheral through its control signal. In order to read the data means the control signal is a IO read, which enable the input device. For example, to send data to output device, The MPU places the device address, that is the port number, on address bus, data on data bus, and enable the output device using the control signal IO write. Okay. So address bus is put on address line. Okay. In order to write means the control signal is a high and enable is high. Sorry, the control signal is a low and the enable signal is a high. And the other peripherals that are not enabled remaining in high state. Okay. Similarly, suppose that we want to read from the EPROM or a ROM, then the control signals, the address is placed on the address bus. Okay. Therefore, the particular address is located, and then the control signal, that is the memory read, which is used to read the data from the memory, and that is transmitted to the bus, data bus, to the microprocessor. So this is the example of a microcomputer system. Oh, let me see one or two problems here. So how many memory locations can be addressed by a microprocessor with 14 address lines? Suppose if there are 14 address lines, then how many locations can be addressed? Okay. The 8085 MPU with its 14-bit address is capable of addressing 2 power 14, that is 16,384. So we rounded off, this one is a 16,000, which is a 16K memory locations, right? So the MPU uses 14-bit address is capable of addressing 2 power 14. 2 power 14 equal to 16,384. So this can be approximated as a 16K memory location. Specify the number of registers and memory cells required in a 128 by 4 memory chips. So how many registers and memory cells are required for this chip? Okay. Here the number of register equal to 128. So the memory cell required, that is the 4-bit. Okay. Therefore, the memory cell required is 128 into 4 equal to 512. Similarly, suppose that for 8-bit, then 128 into 8. Okay. So this is the number of registers and the memory cells required for a memory chip. Then another problem. So if the 8085 adds 87 and 79, specify the content of the accumulator and status of the sign, 0 and carry flags. Okay. So already I have explained what is a sign flag, 0 flag, carry flag. Okay. So the flag register, here. So the flag register of the MPU consists of various flags. It is the carry flag, 0 flag, sign flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag. Suppose if we add 2 registers, then we get a carry, means this carry flag is set to 1. Like that, if the resulting is a 0, then 0 flag is set to 1. then the sign flag is set to 1 if it is a positive, otherwise 0. Then parity, that is the number of ones is even number, then it's set to even parity 1, otherwise odd parity. So auxiliary carry is normally used for the BCD additions. Right. Now you sum 87, 79. Okay. So this is the hexadecimal addition. Already you know how to perform the hexadecimal addition. The result becomes 100 in hexadecimal. Right. Therefore, this is the carry. Therefore, the accumulator will have 0, 0, and the carry is a 1, and the flag will be, carry flag is set to 1. Okay. Then sign flag, since it is a positive, then 0, and 0 flag is set to 1. Like that, we can solve the problems. Okay. Thank you, students.